And if you're here inside of the Facebook group, go ahead and say hello. Let me know that you are here. And if you are unable to say hello or you're watching the replay, no worries at all. Like we will circle back around and you can certainly just let me know if you're watching the replay. So comment hashtag replay if you are watching the replay. If you're here live with me, go ahead and comment hashtag live. And I know that we are going live inside of a couple places today, which is really exciting. We'll see if tech decides to work with us today versus mess things up. But we are trying to stream live on both my private page. So hi, if you guys are here. And we're also going live inside of our Zoom, which is Soulful Abundance with Chris. So you can definitely head over to the Zoom channel as well and catch any of the recordings that we also share inside the podcast, which is again, Soulful Abundance with Chris Williams. So, all right, we are going to actually make this quick. This is going to be a pretty short video today because we're going to be talking about one main thing. So the one main thing, and this is really, really important, especially if you are in the service industry. So if you are a coach, if you're a spiritual coach, if you are a wellness entrepreneur, if you are a health coach, life coach, nutritional therapist, culinary nutritionist, if you are leading others, helping others create healthier, happier lives, this is one thing that will actually 10x your business in 2025. So one of the things that we've seen about buying behaviors that have changed over the past couple of years is that people really are vetting to see whether or not they resonate with you. Do they connect with you? Do you have something that they're really interested in? So the one thing that I want you to focus on, which I see a lot of people actually focusing on the wrong thing. So I'm going to share with you what the wrong thing is first. And that is being very transactional. That is like, how do I get the client? How do I just make the sale? How do I, do the post to try to get the client, right? That is a very transactional way of building and growing a business. And it's interesting because I've been in a lot of conversations recently, and there are lots and lots of coaches who have told me, I'm posting, I'm doing a live, I'm sending out an email, and yet nobody's buying. Here's why. When we are just posting, when we are just, sharing something, when we are just sending out an email, that is the very top place where we're actually being visible. We're sharing some value, we're giving some information, but there's no connection or relationship there, right? It's like, hey, I'm here and buy my thing. That is actually based on making a transaction. So the shift that I want you to consider making, because this is going to make all the difference in the world. There are people that are shutting down their businesses left and right, going out of business, firing their teams. I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine who reached out for support because she's like, we actually had to let go of our entire team. Is when you are focused on the transactions, then that is where you're focusing on tactics. You're focusing on what's the current trend to kind of get the client, right? However, when you are focused on relationships, and this is a relational way of building and growing your business, this is actually timeless because now instead of making it all about getting the sale, what you're doing is you are absolutely connecting with people, giving them value first, connecting with them first, and really having a relationship with them, nurturing them, finding out, hey, how are you? What are you struggling with? Is there an extra resource that I can share with you for free? Is there a way that I can support you and help you to create a win before we even invite anybody to work with us? So here's the thing, and I talk about this, and I will be sharing this deep inside of the Six-Figure Success Simplified masterclass that I'm going to be teaching. It's a great workshop. It's something that we're going to cover over a period of time, is the nurture method. And I'm going to share it with you by taking a look at three different things. So for those of you that know marketing, you'll understand this. For those of you that are not really clear about what the difference is between marketing and sales, I'm going to try to put this into a perspective. I'm going to use an analogy of a house and a pathway, some benches, and then the sidewalk so that you can kind of understand what I'm talking about and why the transactional way of building and growing a business is actually no longer working. Okay. Before, when, we had our stimulus checks and we were looking for things to buy, it was working pretty well, right? We could say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I've got. Come join me, buy the thing. And, it was pretty easy. Now it's very different. There are no stimulus checks anymore. People have invested, but they've also been burned. And so they're spending more time wanting to actually have an experience. They want to know you see them. They want to know that you get them. They want to feel heard. They want to feel connected. And this is really, really important, because if we're not doing that, if we're only posting but not connecting, if we're only posting and trying to sell, if we're only sending out an email, but they only hear from you when you've got something to sell, there's no relationship there, right? Okay, so here's what I want to share with you. Think about a house, right? And I want you to think about, a mansion. I live in the South. I live in North Carolina. So I'm just going to think about this mansion with a beautiful front porch, a swing on the front porch, and a sidewalk that leads out, or a pathway with some really great benches along this pathway, and then a sidewalk that goes in front of that pathway. Now, when you are posting, when you are doing a Facebook Live, when you are sharing a freebie, when you are giving value out there, what you're doing is you're standing on your pathway that leads from your, to your house, and you're trying to get people's attention who are going across that sidewalk on the front of your house, right? You're like, hey, look at me. Like, hey, I have something that might serve you. Hey, I've got some value that I want to share with you. I want to help you create a win. And they're turning to look, and they're like, oh, what a great bench. I'm going to go sit down on that bench. I would love that, free checklist, or I would love that, free recipe guide, or I would love to, uncover exactly what is going on. Like, why are my hormones out of balance? Like, what is going on with my thyroid, right? So the benches are a way that we are creating value and that we're connecting with people, but we don't just want to stop there, right? We want to give them another experience. We want to actually be a real person. Fancy that, right? That's a timeless way of just being a real person and saying, hi, I'm so glad you downloaded, the free, handout on, my free recipe guide. Did you have a favorite recipe that you saw in there? It's just creating a connection, right? What we don't want to do is actually just jump right in and say, hey, thanks for getting my freebie. You want to buy anything? Yeah, do you want coaching support? Do you want to join my program? Because again, there is no relationship there. And here's the thing, you guys, I want you to remember this. People will not buy from you if they don't feel safe, if they don't like what it is that you're sharing with them, if they don't trust you. And so when you are giving them something for free, but then you're jumping right in and trying to sell, that actually disrupts the feeling of safety. It also disrupts the feeling of connection. It's one of the reasons why it feels so icky and salesy and slimy to try to just sell an offer in a 1 hour discovery session, right? Like I was taught, hey, just go, message a whole bunch of people, try to get them on a 1 hour discovery call. They're brand new. They have no idea what it is that I do. You invite them onto a discovery call. Sometimes they show, sometimes they don't, but then you're actually, doing this kind of bait and switch thing where you're saying, hey, let me just give you this free coaching session. But really what you're doing is you're trying to sell them into a program, right? That is actually based on how you're going to make a transaction. That is not based on connecting with somebody first, giving them value, sharing with them a way that they can create a win, actually helping them to create a win before, you actually invite them to work with you, right? Like, I mean, right, common sense, right? Like when we think about this, it makes really a lot of sense. However, the way that it's been taught over the years has been the other way. It's make a post, sell your thing, send an email, sell your thing. And what's missing is this beautiful pathway with multiple benches along the way so that people can actually first learn, see if they even resonate with you, right? So that by the time they have actually had an experience with you, they are actually the ones that are reaching out and saying, you know what, I really like what it is that you're doing. I'm really inspired by, what it is that you're saying. I'd love some more information about like how you might be able to help me, right? So even at that point, we are not just going to kind of drag them into, the mansion, drag them upstairs into the master bedroom, right? No, ew. We're going to actually just invite them on the front porch. Let's have a conversation. Let me hear a little bit about what's going on with you. And that way I can share which one of the rooms, which one of the offers, which one of the support systems I have that might be able to serve you, right? And that way it takes all the pressure off trying to close the deal or overcome a pricing objection or overcome anybody or overpower anybody or drag anybody across the finish line. Really, what we're doing is we're just listening. And we're saying, okay, great. So you're struggling with this. You would like to have this. Here are some ways that I could support you. Which feels like the most, level of either support or access or, what feels like a good fit for you. I can recommend where I think it's going to help you get, the quickest, but we're helping them make an empowered decision based on a relationship that we have with the person, not based on what it is that we are trying to sell, right? Again, transactional is how can we get the sale? How can we close the deal? Relational is, and I want you guys to write this down, how can I help somebody make an empowered decision that is in alignment with the result that they want? How can I help somebody make an empowered decision about which one of the options feel like a really good fit for them to help them get the result that they want? Now it's all about them. It's all about relationships. It's all about connecting. It's all about listening. It's all about matching, what would be a good fit for what it is that they desire versus what do I have to say to get them to say yes, right? Transactional. What do I have to do if they come up with a pricing objection? How am I going to overcome that objection? Transactional, right? So if you want to learn more about this, I'm going to go ahead and pop the link down in the comment section so that you can access the free training. Again, it's called Six Figure Success Simplified. I'm going to be teaching this in depth over the period of 5 days. I'm going to have a couple bonus days on there so that you can ask me any questions on how you can customize this for you as well. And I'm going to be talking about this so that you can really understand how you can make and build and grow your business from a heart-centered place that's based on building relationships instead of what you may have been taught, which is all based on how do you actually close the deal and how do you just make a transaction. Because full transparency, while people want to purchase and want support, they don't necessarily want to feel like they're being convinced to buy something or persuaded to buy something, right? Or being made to feel bad if they don't, right? Like, by the way, none of that is necessary. None of that is necessary. As a matter of fact, if someone says, you know what, I don't feel like this is a good fit for me. Okay, great. Amazing. Like I'm here, feel free to hang out on my Facebook group. Feel free to download any trainings. Let me know what other resource. Happy to share something from my YouTube channel that might help you create a win. Like, awesome. Why? Because it's based on relationships. And when somebody trusts you and when someone feels safe with you, even if now it doesn't feel like a good fit for them, they're going to remember the way that you make them feel and they're going to come back later when they are ready. Okay, so click the link below to join me for Six Figure Success Simplified if you want to learn more. If you're a coach, if you're a wellness practitioner, if you are a life coach, spiritual coach, healer, culinary nutritionist, nutritional therapy practitioner, this is my jam. I have been in the wellness world for over 30 years. I am a soulful business and leadership coach specifically for women. I help you get to your first six figures or create your next six figures so that you can have a six-figure, multiple six-figure business that feels good, that feels purposeful. And so I would love to see you over there. If this resonates with you, come join me. If it doesn't resonate with you, let it go. Like no big deal, really. All right, my friends, I'm going to drop the link below. And then if you have any questions, let me know. By the way, before you leave, let me know what are you going to walk away with from this. Hopefully, it's that the way to 10x your business is to build relationships with people. I'm going to teach you how to do that, by the way, because 90% of the people that I have conversations with have no idea what to do in the middle, right? We attract new people. We want to get their attention, give them some value, but we still want to connect with them, right? Give them some resources, connect with them before we invite them to buy. So I'm going to be sharing my nurture method with you, which talks about how to do each one of these three things. So let me know which one of those three things feels more interesting to you. And what did I say today? Is there a golden nugget that feels really, really good that might inspire you to kind of lean in, feel really good about building your business from a heart-centered place instead of just making it all about closing the deal? All right, my friend, you have a great day and I will see you guys later.